me a kindness and mosey on.
He couldn't be that literal, could he? I mean, it is Gary.
Anyone got lamps on Schultz? Anyone? Void be damned. Sallying into the wire like that with nary a wish in her pocket? What was she thinking? Did I not make clear our orders to hold the line here regardless of provocation? Should my instructions have been more robust? Perhaps assisted by pictures?
I'm afraid there's more bad news, Commander. She also took Scrabbles, sir.
Would that he'd done her more good. Seems Calamity has claimed 2 good soldiers today. You there. I don't normally sanction nameless passers-by giving ear to my private discourse. That right. Earth Directorate. Not many would claim such affiliation these days. None from Arcadia have the knowledge to lie about it. What's your business at the Vox? Sounds serious. Were it in my power to offer aid, you'd have it. Alas. Whatever your purpose, I feel a contractual obligation to warn you against setting a heel past this base. If you go any further, you go alone and at your own peril. No Antis forces are permitted beyond the forward position upon pain of disemployment and possible litigation. Our orders are to sit and mind the store for as long as need be. Foremost, I'd advise seeking a stealthier means of crossing the bridge. A direct approach is likely to repercuss in a hanging cage and a slow death, courtesy of that there warden. Our initial reconnaissance of the bridge indicated a breach in the western wall that could get you inside, though that was months ago. The intel could be outdated now. Schematics we managed to acquire also list an access tunnel on the eastern wall, but be wary of mines between here and there. The wire is full of unexploded ordnance. First Officer Schultz's decision to enter the minefield was not sanctioned, approved, or encouraged. Frankly, I have no idea why she defied orders. Schultz was a good soldier, admirable sense of duty, less than optimal eyesight. Her loss will be felt in this unit. If only she had recognized the merits of our post. By steadfastly holding the line here, we forestall any retribution the Protectorate would seek to inflict upon Fairfield. And we will continue said watch until orders change. I'd thank you to affix some ballast to that name when you speak it. Scrabbles has been integral to this unit's success for years. Outsiders may see him as a toy, but we've bled alongside that stuffed sprat. He's damn near family. Schultz obviously knew the risks and hoped he'd protect her through the minefield. Alas, even Scrabble's power has limits. Still would help morale to get him back, though. I'll pardon your skepticism given your lack of acquaintance, and say only this. Ask not what Scrabbles achieves for us, but what we can achieve with him. Before you depart, a final word. Stay out of the minefield. I won't be the one who answers to Carr when the Protectorate mistake your rootless gallivanting for encroachment.
How did you ever get so far with us without knowing that?
Let me know when you need a stretch.
closed.
Anulado.
Did you not hear me? This place is closed. No learning today about how everything happens according to the obscure calculus of an indecipherable plan. Why are you asking? Who are you?
The people she tried to kill.
By the architect. I had no idea. I wish I could say it was unbelievable. I was afraid she was becoming a danger to herself and to others. But this is horrifying.
Yeah, imagine how we feel. Why don't you tell us where she is so we can make sure she ain't being a danger to herself or others?
And how are you going to do that?
That ain't something you ought to be concerning yourself about.
If you think I'm going to help you do what I think you're talking about, you are deluded.
I may be deluded, but you're lucky you ain't dead. Seeing how she seems partial to using her friends as victims.
Does she? It occurs to me that you have provided no proof of what you're accusing her of.
Why don't you take a long look at me? This is all because she betrayed us. Her team, her friends, even the one whose life she saved in Triangulum.
By the architect. You're Niles, aren't you? She mentioned you a few times, but refused to elaborate. All I knew was that she was fond of you, and that you were dead.
She was fond of me? Then why? Why would she try to kill me?
I can't say, but it may be one of the things she anguished over. An anguish I fear finally overwhelmed her, and could likely be what's driven her to her present course of action. I don't know where she is. I haven't seen her since before the corporatists invaded the island. I'm afraid she's going to do something terrible, but I just don't know what. Maybe none of this would have happened had I not introduced her to Victor. How did... You saw her terminal, didn't you? Victor's an Order archivist. We were all friends for a time. But then, shortly before the schism, they started talking to some others inside the Order. That's when things became tense. I started to become uneasy, scared, really. She kept getting angrier with the Order the more she worked with Victor and her other contacts. On top of everything else, it became just too much for me. Among other things. For some reason, she was obsessed with the cliffhanger ending of Chapter 6. It was the one where capitalist fanatics brought complete destruction upon Arcadia. But you know how it works. It was somehow miraculously saved at the beginning of the next chapter. It didn't matter to DeVries, though. She just kept going over it and over it. Would have talked to a Crabble about it if there was no one else to listen. That and the invasion itself set her mind to dark things. I begged her not to go down that road again. She was so agitated when I first met her. Must have been 7, going on 8 years ago now. She never slept, didn't talk to anyone if she could avoid it. After we became friends, she began to change. Still bothered her from time to time, but I thought it mostly behind her. I couldn't watch her go back to how she'd been. Or worse. We became friends when she... well, she saved me. I'd said something without thinking. Must have been distracted. We all know to watch every last word we say. For some reason, she interceded on my behalf with an arbiter. And she convinced him he didn't hear what he actually did. No one does that. Void, I didn't think anyone could. We all were, originally, before the schism. But she never gave it up, even when it became illegal to even mention their name. Which was surprising with how angry she seemed to be getting with them, even as she was deep into scheming with Victor and the others. She even continued to sign her messages, "See you in the equation." It's all so confusing. What do you mean? It was where she worked, one of the Protectorate's communications hubs. She didn't speak of it much, at least to me. She may have spoken to Victor about it.
She ain't the only one.
It's difficult to explain. She spoke about things in unfamiliar ways. I felt her words to be freeing, at first. But slowly, I began to feel unmoored, doubting everything I ever knew. She said learning the truth of things was worth it. But now I question whether her truth was just more of her penchant to sow chaos, no matter who may be caught in her schemes. Some days I wish I'd never listened to her at all. Others, I can't help but miss her. Even with everything.
Know a little something about that, too.
I did try to. Once. After the corporatists invaded Paradise Island and took over Fairfield. They seemed to let anyone in there. Some boisterous fellow even tried to recruit me. No. Nearest I could surmise, she'd left just prior to the fall of Fairfield. I'm ashamed to admit, I did break into her safe. She used the same code for everything. 15-778.
That is Agent DeVries's identification code, Commander.
She said it had some meaning from her previous life. I'd hoped she'd left something for me, but the safe was empty. I know I've no right to ask this of you, but when you find her, please remind her of who she used to be. She's unwell, but I know there's still hope for her. That's all I can ask.
Word is Milver Street is ordering a watch on the Protectorate survivors in Westport. Keep walking. Hold that thought.
Caught in the act, like an amateur. Can you not do that? Stay in line or I'll knock you to the bottom of the org chart. That ain't yours! Stop in Auntie's name! Auntie's been looking for you, criminal. Pay what you owe or your reckless behavior ends here. Everything seems to be in order. Carry on.
If you're wondering why there's so many engineers sitting here on their rears, it's because the dang Crobbles ran us out of the desalinator. Now we're stuck here on standby wages. Hope you ain't jesting with us, friend. Can't wait to get back to making full-time wages. Thank you kindly.
Mind your own business.
Peddle your wares elsewhere.
How about I do my job and you do whatever it is you do?
Scout report.
Yes, sir. Looks like the repairs. Sorry, time is bits is time.
Why are you pestering me? Do I look like middle management?
Be advised. Physiological cues indicate acute cantankerousness in nearby armed guards. A stealthy approach is suggested.
Ready to waste. On your command.
Must be at least a few usable parts in here. Aha! Ah, it's warped. Just like everything else. Hello there. You wouldn't happen to have found any usable parts in all this debris? Westport's stockpiles of replacement parts are nearly depleted. I need to find some parts to convert some of our auto-mechanicals, non-combat parts. Fortunately, there's nothing here that's salvageable. Auntie's bombs sure take their toll, don't they? Unless I missed my guess, this looks like it was transporting damaged and malfunctioning automechs from the Vox station to the Automech Repair Center to the south of here. The center is... Say, you don't work for Auntie's, do you? This is beginning to feel more than a little like you're digging for intelligence. More truthful words were never spoken. As I was saying, the Automech Repair Center is south of here. Regrettably, subjects of Westport no longer have access to the repair center, hence my need to scavenge. Let's just say to fill Westport's needs. If you follow the road heading north, you can't miss it. Used to be a sight to behold, but the war hasn't been kind to it. To any of us. True enough. A few years ago, I couldn't have imagined us running short of anything. And now here I am, digging through scrap for parts. But I digress. Was there anything else? Need to get back to my hunt, you understand? Yes and no. The bomb certainly took a fierce toll, but I suspect these were all in various states of disrepair even before Auntie's offensive, which has made sorting out where to begin my efforts here rather difficult. There should be a manifest somewhere, but it's nowhere to be found. Nor are the troopers who should have been escorting this. Or their bodies. The only species in these parts that would pose such a threat to an armed escort squad would be crabbles. But the guard at Westport has always made a point of culling them with automechs so they don't get out of hand. Well, yes, the one and the same... Ah, I see your point there. Not so easy to cull crabbles without operational automechs. Likewise. And please inform me if you happen upon any usable parts.
Distraction.
Emergency protocols ready.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when. Ready to waste them. On your command.
What do you mean you're leaving? Just over. I have a life outside this place, you know. A life? Outside our lab? No. Audacious advances required.
Represent a fascinatingly complex ecological network. Confronting threat.
Your insides are leaking outside. Give the order, and I'll take care of him, Commander.
Extra added seal for now, just to offset any minor disruption.
Feeling distracted?
Visitors, huh? Just meandering about, free of any appointed minder? Not so sure I ought to be speaking with you. If you need someone to talk to hereabouts, I suggest you seek out Vigilant Hogarth. That tall, stately building back yonder is his domicile. Do hate to come off impolite. If you're so inclined, we can pick this up later, after you two confabulate.
We take a moment to rightly appreciate it all and thank the sovereign.
Apologies, but I don't believe I should be discussing such matters with you without permission. Once you report to the Vigilant, I'd be happy to speak freely. Word to the wise, despite what you might hear, we still consider ourselves part of the Protectorate. Anyone spots an outsider engaging in misdeeds might just open fire.
Because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch working with and through the sovereign devised the paradigm.
No, I just feel sad for them. It's even in their name. Auntie's Choice.
Don't take your meaning.
They don't have the talent to hand of a sovereign. I'm just a normal person making random and perfect decisions.
Can unbalance even the most robust ecosystem, like those
How empty are the lives of Auntie's subjects that they need to rely on
To inform on a neighbor is a
We
blessing,
reject individualism.
Separately and together.
waiting for a few thank yous. Resilient, the system abides. But now, more than ever, we must all do our part to maintain it. Keep doing your job with pride. Keep informing on your neighbors. Same as ever. But prudence dictates we give it a little extra added zeal for now, just to offset any minor disruption.
Greg on a stray? Book a stay today. Are you mentally refreshed?
Under Protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows.
Well, the wireless told me that I'm happy and everything's splendid. I was tempted to feel sad after the ocean flooded my house.
Sabotage and/or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our...
Everyone knows
The matriarch and sovereign chose Eden, the perfect ecotope as our home, and devised the
Greetings, non-protectorate wretches. With regret, I must inform you that those outside our glorious society may not take freely from our stocks, as our subjects do. However, I may offer you a limited selection of premium items for moderate respective fees.
community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have
Initiating
of the sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of
Ah,
contentment.
appeared right out of the aether. Just as I imagine our proud sentinels do. Like, here I am, your innermost thoughts are known to me, and nobody once hears from you again. Caught me reciting passages from a beacon to the cosmos, illustrating my steadfast fidelity. All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the sovereign. That part always hits me directly. To quote my personal log, an essential passage, rightful and true. Charlton Weintrott.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject.
Did I? Not again. Oh, this? It's a birthmark, skin condition, both, about which I am rather sensitive, thank you very kindly.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex.
Say, you are every bit you seem, yes? Thoroughly on the up and up and in no way a hidden agent? It is widely known that a sentinel is required to stand revealed before rendering judgment. Why, a plot point about that featured prominently in the latest episode of I, Red Cloak.
Of course you believe everything on the Aether Wave. I guess it would be stranger if you didn't swallow the propaganda, even if it does take some heavy dramatic license.
Even the most robust ecosystem, like those nettlesome raptidons, or the base individualists within Auntie's choice.
Well, you appear to be far more fluent with sentinel procedure than I. Veiled implication understood. If you'll excuse me, I best return to my work tasks. If you were a sentinel, or in some sentinel-adjacent role, I'd of course be honored to have you inspect my belongings. Unfortunately, my house is currently besieged by Crabbles. In any case, back to it.
Any minor disruption.
Feeling distracted is on the job. Mental
Disturbance detected. Engaging.
Place.
Prolonging teammate health.
It's a rising point.
Agent vitals have fallen below acceptable.
Security level.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander.
Security level 1. Suspicious. Triangulating source of disturbance.
Give the order, and I'll take care of him, Commander.
Gray gone astray? Book a stay today.
The Outlander I spoke with before. What brings you back around?
Of course.
Under Protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and manipulative indoctrinatory falsity.
Everyone knows the paradigm epitomizes the pinnacle of social order. Why? Because the matriarch herself designed it, and the sovereign advises and executes on it. Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant. Depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm benevolent hand of the sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm plenty. We have community, purpose, time for recreation. We sleep well at night. Nutritious and we have everything. Prudence dictates we take a moment to rightly appreciate it all and thank the sovereign. The native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich natural resources represent a
This
fascinating
unit beautifully acknowledges your presence.
matriarch working with and through the sovereign devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty for all. Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive species can unbalance even the most robust ecosystem, like those meddlesome raptidons.
it's infected. Redstone arrives soon, we'll have to start cutting.
Right now, the prudence dictates we leave the burden of thought to our betters. I wish everyone's neighbor Prudence was my actual neighbor.
Of course, it's part of the
Except
outsider.
my
Stay
domicile
true,
is
outsider.
presently underwater.
You walked in here under your own steam and appear reasonably free of cuts, burns, or weeping lesions. So, I assume you're presently devoid of mortiferous injuries. Good. Because we've got more of that than we can handle. You haven't heard? When Antes invaded, they broke the seawall. Flooded nearly half the town below, where most of the domiciles were. A number of our subjects drowned. Others got concussed, or even crushed. A few were electrocuted or exposed to caustics. Took a while for our water purifier to catch up, so some drank tainted water, which is not good for you at all. I'm glad it's working again. All right. Well, don't let me keep you.
Word on the wireless is that Auntie's choice is years behind us sociologically. So they've started the war to grab any part of the
You
paradigm
can't
that they
fight
can.
contentment.
My body is covered in burns acquired in battle during the attack. The only relief, imperfect thoughts sure can be invasive.
The wireless said that flooding Westport is routine maintenance to remove the dust. The dust that had been building up in our door frames.
The Sovereign really does think of everything.
Prudence dictates that we watch our neighbors.
Sometimes I fear I may be succumbing to notions.
Facility.
But the paradigm says we're to spend our lives in our predetermined profession.
That's why it's so generous of the Sovereign to let us become tiny parts of the great war machine.
Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive species can unbalance
witness the routine certitude of my assigned profession.
That you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity.
This looks like the place. Law, I haven't felt this high strung since Horizon Point. Just hope he's here.
Niles.
Howdy, Zed.
Has my mind been set upon by shadows? I thought you dead.
Can't imagine why you think that. I've only been gone 4 years.
Oh, back from your little saunter then, are you? Head all cleared? I must say you took quite the perambulation. I hope you didn't wear out your rotation adapters.
Zeb, this is the commander I told you about. One in charge of the Horizon Point mission.
So, you are keeping company these days. Just not mine. That would depend on what vision you have for Arcadia's future. Everyone seems to think they alone know what's best for this colony.
Look, I'm not just here to gas you up with empty apologies. I want to set things right between us.
Oh, now you want to help. Where were you when the war happened? Or when I was being carted off to mental refreshment? Where were you when I actually needed you?
I know I let you down before, but give me a chance to earn back your trust. There must be something I can lend you a hand with. I know you haven't given up the fight.
I haven't the time to patch your bleeding conscience, Niles. I'm in a situation that demands my full attention.
It's Baines. My team's been caught. Pharaoh and March are dead. Protectorate are holding the rest for interrogation. A ship is inbound to take us off-world, to the consul himself. I barely managed to evade capture. Damn it! It looks like the data went through, but there's something wrong with the connection. The cipher isn't transmitting.
Found her! You there! Step away from that terminal at once!
Audra? Fuck! It's all coming apart.
I knew something was wrong. What have you gotten yourself into here, Zeb?
That was one of my operatives. I organized a mission to infiltrate the Vox to acquire valuable intelligence. But obviously, something's gone wrong. Without that cipher, the intelligence is worthless. But I'm more concerned about my people at the moment. If you're sincere in your desire to help, prove it. Rescue my friends before that ship departs with them on board. Please.
I am. Without question.
Okay. If they're sending a ship, that means my people are being held on the Vox's landing pad. Use my call sign so they'll know you for an ally. I'm certain Niles remembers it. And do exercise discretion, as well as caution. The guards at the Vox won't hesitate to fire upon you, should you be discovered.
Not to worry. This is exactly the sort of thing we're trained to handle.
Yes, but the uniform doesn't stop bullets, as I'm sure you recall.
Good thing we know a doctor then.
Then let's hope the ship also takes its time arriving, and that my friend's pain threshold withstands any attempts to soften them up for the consul. I'll answer what I can. If you must know, It was my sister. A neighbor reported her for some misconduct and she was taken to be refreshed. I never heard what her alleged crime was meant to be. The woman who returned was nigh unrecognizable. The injustice of it rattled me. And once I began to look into what had happened, the more discomfort I felt. Then I met Niles. He told me the truth about other colonies. Made Arcadia feel so small, claustrophobic, repressive. And my smoldering resentments became a full conflagration. Stop there. I know what you would ask, but I've done my best to put that unpleasant experience behind me. Please respect my wish to avoid reopening closed wounds. The Crabbles? They keep people away who might otherwise stumble into my operation here. I feel kindly toward them. Ah, of course. Hogarth and his unfortunate charges would be top of mind if you've explored the nearby settlement. I sympathize with the plight of those in Westport. They want nothing to do with me, of course, or anyone outside the Sovereign's grace, which has been to my benefit. I do believe that one day, the truth of the Protector's iniquity will be too obvious to ignore. But for now, not even a crowbar could pry open all those shut eyes. Do you always put your hands on other people's things?
Give the order and I'll take care of him, Commander. Not getting up without help, Commander.
Sit or sprint? Typical predicament for an anti-bottom runger like me. Wish I never snuck in here to begin with. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Nah, it was a great idea. So much stuff for the taking around here. Motherload of loot. Plenty to get me back in the sprat race. Just didn't account for all these Crabbles. Real fly in the old ointment. I could just sit tight.
Emergency
Clean off all
protocol
these
syringes
supplies,
primed.
The Crabble skedaddle. Or maybe open the door and bolt. Seems like a good idea.
Knew you had my back.
Nah, it's a great idea.
the Outlander I spoke with before. What brings you back around?
If each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty for all. Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how.
Why, that's wonderful. I'm actually quite relieved a fellow customer like yourself somehow saw through my carefully maintained act. Others in Westport fail to perceive my true nature. I am hardly one of the herd around here. A reference you'll no doubt recognize from those keen Auntie's Choice commercials.
The system abides. But now, more than ever, we must all do our part to
Why, they are certainly inspiring. There's this one character who just laughs at danger, says he hand makes his own luck. Is that not the grandest thing you ever heard? You and I are just like him. Get up and go-getters. Say, did Auntie's Choice send you here? Don't fret, I am exceedingly skilled at keeping secrets.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
Under Protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a
If I am not the person for it, I would be most surprised. Do tell.
declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity.
Our enemies envy our prosperity.
Ugh, my uncle's child. That side of the family is obstinate and mean. No, I'd hardly risk life and limb trying to convert her.
Everyone knows the paradigm epitomizes the pinnacle of social order. Why? Because the matriarch herself designed it, and the sovereign embodies and executes on it. Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant. Depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible...
That seems neither prudent nor wise. I value my neck and do not intend to hang.
Sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the
Oh,
paradigm affords.
did you have another mission in mind? One especially designed for my unique talents?
Community, purpose, time for recreation. We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or
Of course. Toodaloo. Hey there, go-getter.
plentiful. We have everything we need. Prudence dictates we take a moment to rightly appreciate it all and thank the sovereign.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Hey there, go-getter. Why, hello again. Any new business to discuss? Involving secret sympathies and sugary spoils?
The native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex ecological network. To govern it,
If I am not the person for it, I would be most surprised. Do tell.
devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty for all. Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive
Ugh, my uncle's child. That side of the family is obstinate and mean. No, I'd hardly risk life and limb trying to convert her. That seems neither prudent nor wise. I value my neck and do not intend to hang.
the system is resilient. The system abides.
Of course. Toodaloo.
More than ever, we must all do our part to maintain it. Keep doing your job. Neighbors, same as ever. But prudence dictates we give it a little extra added zeal for now, just to offset any minor disruption.
Greg on the stray? Book a stay today.
Emergency protocols ready.
Under protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have...
Feeling distracted?
Hey there, go-getter.
Daydreaming on the job? Mental refreshment centers are... help you. Don't
Why, hello again. Any new business to discuss involving secret sympathies and sugary spoils?
Under protectorate law, we are bound...
Oh, my assigned profession once was automectalier, but wonder of wonders, I was reassigned. Did you know that could happen? I did not. Vigilant Hogarth tasked me to maintain the morale of other subjects by reading inspiring words from the Sovereign. I have become quite practiced at it. If I am not the person for it, I would be most surprised. Do tell. Do tell. Ugh, my uncle's child. That side of the family, I possess an overabundance of both qualities, honest. Of course. Toodaloo.
Epitomizes the pinnacle of social order. Why? Because the matriarch herself designed it, and the sovereign embodies and executes on it.
Outside.
Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance.
Not gonna lie, my thoughts are plagued by the notion of perishing atop that picker. Though I can't reconcile if I'd have starved, parched, or followed poor Jackson to the ground. Ida Rutledge. She was one of the Protectorate defectors underneath me who opted for a rewarding life of self-determinism. Or at least I thought she was. Honestly, I shudder with baffled confusion even thinking of such a thing. But I guess that's the benefit of being reared in a society that values our value. Thanks again for getting us off that literal ledge. Though with our gratitude meaningfully expressed through the requisite bits, I'm not sure we have anything more to discuss.
Eyes up.
I see you have not brought my cousin to heal. Have you at least seen about Ida? Let me see that. Yes. Yes! This does appear to be hers. Unfortunately, there are reports of the Harvester having been repaired in the wake of her sabotage. Though her triumph may not have endured, it was a good effort nonetheless. Should Montelli deign to interrogate me for my associations, I'll be certain to inform him of her patriotism. This displeases me. Sabotage is only as good as the further suffering inflicted once its victims know the truth. Though I suppose a minor inconvenience is also acceptable. I'm thankful for the report. Now I just require my fool of a cousin in hand. Be on your way.
Announcement from the Vox and Brigadier Montelli. The traitor in our midst. Our midst knows no mercy, so offer them none. Dark times.
Stay out of the minefield if you value your limbs. I'll be spaced. Scrabbles! And hardly the worse for wear! You've no grasp of what his return means to this unit. Scrabbles was originally a gift from my daughter. He fought with us during the Consolidation War, and has seen this squad through every hard deployment since leaving Tau Ceti. He's also packed with some of the finest grade stimulants this side of legal. Here, for your trouble. Livener like that comes in handy when you're in a pinch. While we appreciate you returning Scrabbles, you'll not provoke me into a course of unwise action if that's your aim. Far be it from me to speak poorly of a superior, but I have pondered over her choices as of late. She's been sullen about sharing her strategy, too. Still, however brightly my star burns, I remain in her orbit. She is my superior officer. I defied her once, and I received the verbal tanning of a lifetime for it. I will take action when action is appropriate. And I'd suggest you modulate your tone more appropriately the next time we speak.
Now what?
Give the order and I'll take care of him, Commander. Ready to waste him. On your command. Let me know when you need a distraction.
Enemy approximating in our vicinity, Commander.
Fortifying teammate positions.
Then get me in. Help me out.
Concern for the commander's well-being.
Ready to waste him. On your command.
Alert. Hostile.
Why is there red everywhere? On everything!
Potential combatants in the vicinity.
Great waves of umbrage rolling right through me. Perpetually!
Attention. This lab technician is deceased. Interrogation unavailable. Recommended course of action. Access nearby terminal for...
Commander. Just stay with me.
My favorite kind! Quick announcement. I'm here to clean house.
Not getting up without help, Commander.
Commander, you are done. entering a confrontational state.
Competition can be murder sometimes.
Please seek treatment for...
Guns cocked and loaded. Let's get the signal. Ready to waste them. On your command. Not walking this off. Stand me back up.
Making good progress.
Knew you had my back. Then get me in. Help me.
Enemies detected.
Why is it that I just want to choke the life out of everyone today? What was that?
Let me know when you need a distraction. Not walking this off. Stand me back up.
Why is this taking? Clear their ledger. Here we go again.
Knew you had my back.
Confronting threat. Emergency protocol syringes primed.
What was that? All right. Quick glance. Heard something.
Let me know when you need a distraction.
Size. We'll see who gets the axe.
Oh, hey.
On your command.
Your position is hereby deemed redundant. nicely around! Mission is...
Guns coming. Just give the signal.
We'll see who gets the axe.
You're dying. This is not advised at this time.
Issuing an official record.
Unsanitary conditions detected.
I've counted at least 6 horrendous death screams since you arrived. You must be affected as well. seem an honest-to-goodness rational human being, unhindered by bloodlust, unshackled from their basal ganglia. Well then, by the Loeffler Risk Intercession Act, under Outbreak Provision 5A, I hereby press you into service to aid me in our present crisis. I, Elman Ormsby, Product Envisioner, Department of Proprietary Methodology and Audacious Advances, am your interim supervisor. Oh, all that pleading and the like. Yes. Well, it's only my second time trapped in a laboratory basement, and I do admit I did panic just a little. But back to the exciting news about this incredible new opportunity. You working for me as an aide-de-camp of sorts on a brief yet no doubt exhilarating assignment. Our lab had been researching the red spores that grow nearby to see if they might contribute to future Auntie's Choice products. As per usual, we threw precaution to the wind. A local spore sample interacted with a wonderfully preservative-rich diet of Auntie's Choice personnel, inadvertently leading to a chance reaction causing profound irritability. To a somewhat homicidal degree, it would seem to appear. By that measure, our work here could be considered a moderate success. Well, of course. Succeeding in a haphazard fashion is one of the first courses taught to Auntie's Choice students in any field. But yes, I am something of a visionary. You see, our lab is a far cry from the others. You're part of something bigger here. The individual not only thrives, but shines even more brightly with the help of their brethren. It all requires a certain devotion. In the end, it's really quite in the best interests of everyone's careers. A rising tide raises all boats, as they say. Well, it should all be rather straightforward, yes? I suspect we'd use a top-down indirect coronium synthesis method, don't you think? Oh dear. It's occurred to me this might benefit to some extent from medical training. Are you perhaps someone well-versed with pharmacological matters? Apologies. I do tend to assume everyone has a doctorate. No matter, if you are capable of following simple instructions, I'm sure I can guide you through it. Tremendous. Well then, before we roll up our sleeves and determine what's needed, any questions? We'll need two things: fresh samples of the red spores and the findings from the expedition that originally uncovered them. After that, an antidote should be possible in relatively short order, with your skilled assistance, of course. How exceedingly fortunate. Just one thing left to gather, then. Spore samples may be taken from a red plant indigenous to an area of tall rock formations northwest of here, ingeniously referred to as the Red Spire. Once we have an antidote firmly in hand, we can save my remaining colleagues, so best not murder them all in the meantime.
Potential combatants in the vicinity.
Let me know when you need a distraction.